now. So we have Tracey, Yolanda, and Chris on joining us today. Matt's going to join us in a little bit to kick this off, but let's start with Tracey. I want to know, start each one of you, just tell us graduation up to now. What's been going on with you?
Well, for me, since graduation, I've pretty much been in school. I went to school right away and got my bachelor's in math, and then my teaching credential because I wanted to teach high school, also in math. And then I started teaching high school right after, so about 22. Started teaching high school, and at the same time, I went back to school at night to get both for my master's and then my doctorate. But it was all back to back. And then right after I got my doctorate, I applied to San Diego City College for their master's, and I got it. So I've been there going on 5 years now.
Wow.
So for me, it's been back to school. I'm done now. No more officially paying for school. I still learn every day.
And you're Dr. Kaiser now, right?
Right.
Congratulations.
That's so awesome.
I always knew it though, Tracey.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I always knew you were gonna do some incredible stuff because you were like, you had that focus in you. That was like this intense focus. You're not like an intense person, but you just had intense focus. That was always amazing.
The neighborhood I went home to every day kept me focused like that so I can get out. Education for me was my way out. So I just stayed focused on that and just kept going. And so now that I'm at the college, my goals are to become like a dean, president, or vice president of a college soon. Not right now, but that's what I'm working on.
That's great. And you said you're at San Diego City College?
Yes. So I teach math there, and I'm the director of their math center.
Oh my God, Tracey, that's amazing.
So I have a high school student who struggles in math. Can I contact you sometimes when we're doing homework?
You can contact me, Jackie, because we haven't talked in ages.
I'm going to take you up on that.
Okay.
Tracey, God bless you. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing.
Thank you. So yeah, for me, nothing really outside of since high school has been school.
A career student up until this point. You don't have to tell me, but what does that mean for student loans for you?
So, zero. So I graduated with no loan. So what I did was, I told you how I taught all day and went to school at night. So what I did was I was paying for school out of pocket, so I didn't have to worry about loans once I graduated. So I went all the way through, and then I was fortunate when I was getting my doctorate at UCSD. My advisor ran into a research person at UCSD, who we're still friends to this day, and they were actually studying or interested in my very dissertation topic. So at one point it became like I became a graduate student researcher, which also paid for my education as well, just to study my own topic. So it kind of worked out for me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Do you know, like, that's not happening right now. That's like people with your type of credentials right now are having like $600,000, $700,000 in student loans.
Right. I sacrificed. Like I moved out of my apartment and rented a room, like in a house. It was for someone I knew, but I rented a room, which made everything cheaper, and then I was comfortable with, paying out of pocket because I knew, the delay gratification would be bigger than me paying out of pocket at that moment. So I just sacrificed, and it was worth it.
Yeah. Not a lot of people have that type of discipline, not the discipline to go to school and get the kind of credentials you got, and then the discipline to make sure that you paid down those loans and graduate with no debt. I didn't.
Because my end goal in mind was I wanted to have a house and all of that. So before I got my house, I paid off my car. So my debt to income was zero. So, but that was all planned out because I didn't want to have a mortgage and student loans, So I was like already mentally prepared for that loan in school. That was my purpose in mind. That's why I did it. That's why I didn't that's why I didn't I'm sorry, that's why I was paying out of pocket instead of, you know, getting taken out loans.
Well, you did it the right way.
Yeah. Relationships, family, kids, anything like that going on?
I don't have any kids, Cybertime, but I am engaged to be married. I got pushed back because of-
Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't, my personal life doesn't, I don't broadcast it on social media, but yeah, I am engaged to be married. We had to push our date back because of COVID, but hopefully within the next year or so it'll be official. Now in early next year, we're looking at provided things are starting to open back up.
Congratulations.
And no kids yet, and I think I'm still okay. I just want one, so I think I'll be okay.
That's how we're feeling about it too. How did you guys meet?
We actually met in college in the library at San
Of
Diego
course.
State.
In the library.
I know, right?
That's so funny. Wow, that's a cool story. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together for 10 years. Going on 11 years. So we met back in high school when I think I was getting my second master's, I think, my first or second. So we met a while back.
Wow, that's amazing. You're gonna do there's Matt. You're gonna do San Diego wedding, you're gonna do something out of town, like do you know
It's gonna be me, especially with this whole virus thing. I'm gonna be a small, very small, intimate, like my family, most of my family would know probably after the fact, you know. So it's gonna be very small.
Tracey, come on.
I can't afford to get sick, y'all. And, you know, everybody's not practicing their social distancing. You know, some people don't care. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then too, I don't like the spotlight. Like I work hard behind the scenes, so I don't want that attention. You know, I think that part of marriage, and nothing against anyone that does it, is I think it's more so for the people who attend. You know, because I've been getting advice from people, and they were saying at the end you remember your pictures, the wedding component, but you don't remember anything else. And then you spend all this money. So going back to me and how I am in budgeting, you know, I don't want to spend a lot of money on a wedding. And more people equals more money. So that coupled with COVID gave me my final decision.
Got it. Wow, Tracey, things are going amazing for you. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Tracey, I'm expecting a wedding invite.
Okay, yeah, before you back.
Yolanda, it's your turn. What you been up to? Oh, child, I do not like the spotlight. Nothing's changed. Still very bashful. This one, so bear with me, okay? After high school, I'm just gonna fast forward to me joining the military. I was in the Army for 6 years. I drove ships for the Army, so I was a captain. Am I coming through okay? Yeah. My earbuds just don't stay in my ears. That's why you see okay. I was like, I hear a lot of background noise. But I drove ships for the military. I did get injured while I was sailing, so I was medically discharged, so it cut my time short. I was going to be a lifer. I was trying to go for 20, but you know, somebody else had other plans for me. So getting out, I have really just been enjoying retirement. If I get bored, I'll go do like something temp until I get bored with that, and then I'll just go back to being retired. I am in college. I graduate this year. I'm getting my degree in accounting finally, and I'm going to be a certified fraud examiner. I already met the district liaison for Georgia where I am, so I already have my foot in the door, and I'm just waiting for the degree. Nice. So you are not in California? No, I am in Georgia, unfortunately. Yes, this place is not where it's at. If I could get back to San Diego, I would, but it costs too much. I can't do it.
What part of Georgia are you in?
I am in Macon. No one has ever heard of that place, so just think of Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Atlanta.
I've heard it in like
You said
zombie
you like
novels and
Atlanta?
movies.
Please, Matt.
CDC is something out there. It's close, isn't it?
Is what now?
The CDC.
Yes, it is. It is.
That
It's close.
explains it.
I just I stay in the house away from the crazies. That's where it's safe. So I don't have any kids. I am in a relationship. I'm a lesbian. I don't know if y'all figured that out or not. You never saw me with a boyfriend, so you kind of put 2 and 2 together. But yeah, she's at the gym right now, but we have a dog and we're just enjoying life.
Nice.
Are your gyms open out there?
They are open. Planet Fitness out here is open. Yeah, they don't care. They don't. Yeah.
So you've been
Like you have to come in with a mask, but you don't have to leave it on. So I don't understand the logic in that. But
Right.
Did you travel overseas with the Army?
I got to go to Japan, which was beautiful. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Their culture is so rich over there, and the nightlife is nothing like I've ever experienced. So I would love to go back. That was the only place I got to go to in my short stint in the Army. So now I'm just dealing with injuries and getting paid for it. So I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Good for you. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've been to Georgia a bunch of times. I've been to Atlanta. I was there on business, and I did the like meet and then like go out to dinner thing. So I don't really know much about it outside of that. But I thought it was beautiful, and I thought the nightlife was robust.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. There's a
right.
The South is different from the rest of the country. They have different tastes than the rest of the country.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't wish Georgia on anybody. So don't come here.
Oh my God.
Yo, I'm so biased. Like every place sucks to me. It's not San Diego, California.
Yeah.
Like every place sucks. Like I've been to Florida. I've been a lot of places, and I just really want to go back to San Diego. So
I totally.
Do they have jobs in your field in San Diego? So once you're done, could you potentially transfer?
I don't know. I haven't looked that far into it, to be honest with you, because like I said, I just met the director for Georgia, so I'm probably going to work with that first. Get comfortable in the field, you know, with the knowledge and all that, and then more than likely I might transfer, because there is a huge need for CFEs. They're called certified fraud examiners. I don't know if I said that or not, but they work with the FBI, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice.
Yeah, they have to have something like that here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have them everywhere. So yeah.
Would your partner move to San Diego with you?
Say again?
Would your partner come out here with you? Would that be an issue, or would that be like they'd have to uproot?
Oh, we'll go wherever the other goes. She is self-employed. She actually owns her own edibles business.
Oh wow.
So oh yes.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying that as a customer and a partner, you know, but yeah, so she can go anywhere. I get my stuff for free. But yeah, she'll go.
We told you we were planning on getting together this year, right? In August. With the edible thing you just brought up, I had some ideas. So maybe we can talk about that at the end of the show.
Absolutely, because I didn't know anything about August. But yeah, I'll be more than willing to talk to y'all about that.
How'd you guys meet?
We actually met from Twitter, believe it or not.
What?
One of my friends just happened to like retweet her photo onto my timeline, and I'm like a boy, so I was like, wow, yum, and I went after it, and here we are.
Nice.
And you just said you were bashful and shy. That does not
I
sound
am like
bashful
I'm
and shy.
sweating right now.
Not shy. She's not shy. You gotta get to know her, be around her, but she's not shy.
Tracey, don't tell my business. But yeah, I am.
Across her, she's loving, but she's very blunt. direct and straight to the point.
That is facts. You still know me. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at all three of you and I'm like, no one has changed at all. You guys look exactly the same.
You haven't either.
All of us, yeah, you and Jackie.
Yeah,
look the
everybody
same.
looks exactly the same. It's crazy.
Yes.
Good genes, guys. Good genes.
Well, I wouldn't say exactly the same. Sorry, my back is a little sore when I woke up. I just have to stretch sometimes.
Yeah, you're looking good, Matt. You looking good.
You, man. That's hilarious. All right, Chris, what about you, man? What have you been up to?
Oh man, I did the military too, but I had my daughter right after high school, so I was still 19 when she was born, and so I worked a lot of jobs. Like I was at the La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club for several years, and then when my second daughter came along in 2006, I'm like, I need a real job, but I got into the Army and and National Guard actually, so I didn't really go anywhere, but I got the training I needed to come out here to Arizona. I was an instructor on the post teaching the same thing I did, UAVs. And I did that for the last 11 years. 2006 is when I got married to my wife. The only time I've been married, but I never married my daughter's mom, my oldest. And went through a lot of custody stuff with her. And that was crazy. I think that's the hardest stuff I've ever been through. And, but she's 18 right now, so that whole thing's over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And and we have 4 kids. We got 14, 13, 12, and 9. Oh, not 9, 8. And she's yeah, so I have girls every 5 years, so that's crazy. So it's 3 daughters and 1 boy, and he's just like me. He's taken over by a bunch of girls. And just gonna grow up with that. Yeah.
That's
so I don't know what was. Yeah.
What part of Arizona are you in?
I'm right Sierra Vista, so I'm right next to Fort Huachuca. So I'm about like 2.5 hours from you.
Oh, okay, cool.
My wife's sister lives in Santana, and
nice.
I was just out there hiking the Grand Canyon, almost died. Take that more seriously, guys. Take that more seriously than I did. Went out there and hiked 19 miles in a day.
Were you like, oh, I'll probably only need like 32 ounces of water for the day?
You know what's funny is I went out and I was like geared out, like ready to go for the hike. And I thought we were only going to do a 6 mile, but my buddy was like, hey, we got down there and he was like, let's keep going. And I was like, hey man, I know I'm getting out of here, but I don't know if you're getting out of here. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get you out of here if you can't, keep it together. Anyway, I was sore, like barely able to move all this week from it. It was a heck of a thing. But I love Arizona. I almost moved out there in 2017. Ellen and I were looking at houses out there because California is so ridiculous right now. Even back then it was ridiculous. Now it's just, I don't know how people are buying houses out here.
You'd love parts of Arizona, Marty.
I know.
It's a weird state. Like you can be in one place and everyone's like cool and they seem like kind of woke and know what's going on, and then you drive 30 minutes in either direction and you're like, oh, my car is gonna get keyed if like I don't look like if I like follow a certain political party.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna get attacked in Walmart if
I live in Santee, man. So I feel like if I can live in Santee, then I can figure out Arizona.
Yeah, it's true.
Prayers for you, Marty. Prayers for you living in Santee.
It's better now. It's better. But like, did I tell you guys about the Uber driver I had? Did I ever tell you that story?
You told us about your neighbors. We know it's not better. It's okay. You can tell the truth.
Well, yeah, there's some bad ones. I had this Uber driver pick me up from the airport and I get in the car and he's like, hey neighbor. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? He was like, oh, if I stepped out on my front porch and yelled, you'd probably hear me from your house. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. This is an Uber driver who knows exactly where I live, and he's like in my neighborhood. But he was like an old, like kind of grandpa type of guy. So I thought, okay, maybe that's cool. And we're driving back, and so did you ever see yourself moving to Santee? And I was like, no, I never thought I would move to Santee. He's like, why? Because of clan tea? Like, yeah, exactly because of
He's
that.
like, I didn't know your people moved to this part of town.
I was like, exactly. I was like, but we were looking to buy a house, and it was the most centrally located, affordable area. So, we bought in Santee where we hope it'll be in 10 years, not where it's at, right now. And he was like, yeah, let me tell you, I really hope Trump builds that wall and, gets that up and stops all those illegals from coming over. And I'm like, are you not looking at me? Like,
connect the dots, please.
And he's like, and then he goes, and you can't go into any restaurant and speak English anymore. And he's just like rattling this stuff off. And then the thing that really got me was he goes, and I'm not going to be politically correct, excuse me, but, and the ragheads, man, all the ragheads moved out here. And I was like, oh my God, man, I can't believe you're saying all this stuff to me. So I had to tell him the story of how like the best man at my wedding was Muslim. The guy that married us was Muslim. All my, good friends are Muslim, and he got like real quiet, and it got like thick, awkward in there. And then he dropped me off. And when he went back home, I could see where he parked, like pulled into his driveway. And I was like, oh God, that guy knows way too much about me now, but Santee has still got issues is what I'm getting at. Hopefully.
That's a tricky story.
So I'm glad you actually spoke up and said something,
That's true, because he could have just sat there and not said anything, and that guy would have just kept on saying all that ignorant mess. So yeah, kudos to you for speaking up.
Well, yeah, he probably would have started coming to your house just talking about you.
Right.
I know. But what's funny about it is you're sitting there, and at first you don't believe it. You're like, this almost feels like a hidden camera type of situation. And you know what I mean? Like I like, you don't know how to react because you're never prepared for it. You know what I mean? At least I'm not. And so, like, yeah, I was just like in stunned silence for the first couple of minutes. And then we went to the raghead thing. So I was like, well, actually my best friend's Arab, my other best friend's Persian. They're both Muslim. That guy was my best man at my wedding. I've known him since Osama Batiki. He was at Madison with us for a little bit. I don't know if you guys remember him.
Oh yeah, he's cool. I had some math classes with him.
Yeah, I love that guy.
You gotta have him jump on. I remember Osama.
Yeah, he's married now with a little beautiful little baby girl, and he's doing really well. He works for U.S. Foods. So, yeah.
Hey, speaking of the topics of I'm not gonna get weird or controversial with this, but on the topic of racism, I have a question for you guys that was on my mind. So like, okay, so being in Arizona, like the part of town that I'm in, it's predominantly white, and I have some neighbors that are not white. So I want to let them know that I'm not that kind of white. So should I like just being, if I was nice to them, would they know that like, oh, he's cool, he's not like all the other white folk that live around here? Or should I put some sort of bumper sticker on my car so when they see me pull into my driveway, they're like, oh, he knows what's going on. We could. That's a legit question.
This is such a Matt Booth question.
Like how do I let them know that I'm one of the good ones?
Fly the Biden Harris flag in front of your house.
No, just you can
Just
get
go
like
talk
a
to them.
Black Lives Matter flag if you
I have this sticker. Can I put this on my car?
I would say no.
No.
Well, it's burning and it says you lost, but I don't want my car to get keyed as well. But
Yeah.
so they'll just understand if
talk
I'm
to
just
them.
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I already do.
You don't want to make it worse by being awkward. Yeah, they're definitely they won't trust you.
Right.
So guys,
Okay, that makes sense.
we've been talking to get to like reunion business. We've been teeter-tottering between trying to get something going this year with everything going on, and like things are like changing so fast. If you guys are like, I'm sure you guys are plugged into what's going on with that, with the vaccines coming out, and then hopefully I think I said this before, President Biden said something like by July 4th, you could have like a July 4th barbecue with your friends over if there's enough people vaccinated. But like the venues are still like up in the air. The people that we've called and the organizers that we reached out to have been like, yeah, we don't really know yet. There hasn't been, much guidance on it, even though California is actually starting to open up a little bit more. Jacqueline sent over some information about that earlier in the week. Most people voted to do something official next year when things clear up a little bit more. But then Jacqueline and I were kind of talking more about like trying to organize something like unofficial where, we just get some people together if you can make it to like have dinner or do some kind of, I think the
informal get together.
Yeah, informal get together. Like the placeholder idea right now was a bonfire. Not that we have to do that. Like that's not chiseled in stone for anybody, but that's just what we've been kind of talking about because it's outdoor. We used to do them a lot in high school, it was kind of our thing, but also it works for, the COVID stuff. So any feedback on that from you guys? Any thoughts that you guys have on it?
I think the bonfire is an exceptional idea, just like you said, because it's outside, people aren't in each other's faces, and it's something that we're all used to doing. So I'm for that idea.
Could you make it out?
Depending upon when it is. If I have early enough notice, then more than likely I can.
What kind of notice do you need? Like how much time do you need?
Like 30 days would be ideal.
Okay.
Matt, we could carpool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We could talk tools. I see you have a fine collection.
Yeah. I'm in my shed.
That would be hilarious.
Tracey, what's your take?
Kind of route. But use all the loud noise. I would do the bonfire. I feel most comfortable doing that because I can like myself before I need to.
I lost her. Can you guys hear her?
No, I didn't understand what you said.
She said I got that she was comfortable with more comfortable with the bonfire. That's about it.
All right.
Now, would you guys, if we did something informal in August, would you still be willing to attend a formal reunion next year?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're being robbed of our formal 20-year reunion, so I don't want us to not do that. Like, I really want that to happen.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I think.
Have you talked about trying to do it here in Arizona where you're able to do everything?
Well, everything is really opening up here. San Diego County and Riverside County, I live in Riverside County, are both entering the orange tier. So you can eat inside now, but it's just a certain capacity. So it is starting to open. And the governor indicated that by June 15th, everything will be open. The only, I guess, precaution at that point is going to be the mandatory masks.
Because they removed the mask here already. So it's not, it's up to you to wear them.
Can you explain the tiered system? Because in Arizona, Chris and I enjoy freedom, so we're not familiar with these tiers.
I think it goes purple is like the worst, and then I think it was red and then orange. So we're moving towards not having a tier. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do think like if we had something in August, I do think like if there was just a group of people who wanted to get together informally, I think we'd be able to go out to eat together. I think we'd be able to do the bonfire. It's just a lot of people, even though things are starting to open up, they still, in the poll on our Facebook page, indicated that they feel more comfortable doing the formal reunion next year when there's no worries. So I know Marty's concern and Matt's concern was both like, if people come to the thing in August, does that mean that they won't come to the formal thing next year if we try to do both?
I think if you made it clear that this is an informal one and that we will have a formal one so that they can expect it, I think that will be okay. As long as they are aware.
Yeah, I think it might even create buzz, right? Like if we take a bunch of pictures
Right.
and post them online and like
Right.
videos and everybody getting together, people will see like us getting together and having fun and talking and be like, oh yeah, I want to do that. You know, I want to reconnect with everybody.
I would just be flattered to get to attend one of these famous Madison bonfires that I never knew were a thing, because I was never invited to one. But now that I am, I'm excited.
This will be my first invite also.
Me too.
Mine too.
I only went like 2 or 3 times, and one time was with Marty.
Oh, we went to a bonfire? I don't remember any bonfire. I didn't think I went to any.
That was when you were using all those good lines, Marty.
Yeah.
Actually, no, funny story. It was, I want to say junior year, maybe senior, but it was winter formal. It was junior year. And I went with my boyfriend at the time, and he broke up with me at winter formal, AFB ball. Yeah, he broke up with me at AFB ball. And afterwards, I went and hung out with a group of people, and Marty was one of them. And we were at Pacific Beach or La Jolla.
I think it was Pacific Beach.
There.
It's starting to come back to me. I don't think that was a bonfire.
Now you remember.
It was just the beach.
Yeah, it was just the beach, and there was like people making out. He
was just trying to console me because I literally just got broken up with.
Her and I weren't making out. I just want to make
sure.
Yeah.
our mutual friends were making out, right? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, I remember that now. But that wasn't a bonfire.
Marty was like, I understand you just broke up and this is probably a weird situation, but we could make out if it would make the pain go away. if it would be less awkward for you.
Yeah, I think I probably was trying to work an angle like that.
Yeah.
But I think Jacqueline was pretty distraught and wasn't into it. And it was like we were
she was being real stubborn that night. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
How dare she protect herself?
I'm telling you guys, there wasn't lack of effort for me over the 4 years for trying. But that night we had gone to PB, and I remember we were just on like park benches, and on the park bench next, so me and Jacqueline are sitting down and we're like talking, and I'm like consoling her after she broke up with her boyfriend. And then our friends, who I'm going to leave nameless, were on the park bench next to us, like hot and heavy, like making out. So that was super weird because we were just, like that was going on right next to us, and it was totally different with us. What was going on, but that wasn't a bonfire. That was funny.
No, it was just a beach experience.
The heat was coming from a different location.
Right. You're good at synthesizing, telling the story the right way, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that was good. So one of the things that we were trying to do on these calls, that's like a good segue, is to bring up some of the like our embarrassing, like horrifying stories from high school that are just funny now. So that was a pretty good one. Evan told us a story about how he felt in a choir performance. He fell off like one of the stands and like twisted his ankle and had to like combat roll out of there to not be seen or heard. Did Kristen tell us one? I don't think Kristen told us one. Right?
She had
we
drop
didn't start
before.
those questions yet.
Yeah.
Matt told us about getting hit by a car.
That's right, Matt.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Oh yeah. That was that. Oh,
We're sticking with the car story. That's the only
that was
story
one of the
that was
stories.
the only story I told that time.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that one so we don't have to rehash anything. You guys have any good ones that you could share?
I had two. One was similar. I didn't hear the name that you said where I fell after a choir performance, but luckily it was outside after said performance. So it was, you guys remember the front of the auditorium, those mini stairs. But when we went out at night, it was not lit. And I even announced they should really turn these lights on before somebody falls. And as soon as I put the S on falls, down went Fraser. And I tumbled down the stairs in my little tutu performance dress in front of everybody and their friends and families. It was awesome. It was awesome. And the second one was prom. Before I even went to prom. Prom was a disaster for me. I'm just gonna say that.
You gotta tell
And before we went to prom, I got picked up. I was walking back up my stairs to get in the house, and I stepped on the front of my dress and ripped it. And then I had to go to Rite Aid to go get something to kind of sew that up. And in the process of getting back in the car, the back of my dress busted because I was a little corpulent in high school. I don't know if y'all remember. I was a little too big for said dress, but I had to like make it work. So we ended up safety pinning it up in the back. And Antonio, I don't know if you remember Antonio.
Yeah.
I think it was him who let me wear his coat because it was very evident that something was not complete with my dress. So fast forward to the evening, I actually fell. I don't know if you guys remember that. I took my shoes off because I don't know. And I kept socks on and I was like, oh, this is my song. And I go charging at the dance floor and just slid right on my, just out of there. The whole night was just horrible, but you know, good times now. Now it's funny at 37. Yeah, but that time it wasn't.
I don't remember, but you know what I do remember? I do remember you wearing the jacket. I remember seeing you in the jacket.
I was covering up some
a
holes.
Picture. I actually might
Let's not.
No, just like a group.
Let's not have
like
any pictures.
Let's not have any pictures.
Let's not have any pictures. I don't know if you guys perused my social media, but there's no memories of high school on there for a reason. So let's no.
Jacqueline is devastating with the pictures. Jacqueline is devastating.
Ugh.
Yeah, that could be a new that could be a new thing on the this video recordings. Jackie could have like a embarrassing photos segment.
Oh,
I would block this page in a heartbeat.
Jacqueline has murdered me with some of those photos, man. Got me good with them.
It's Marty. Come on now. He likes the attention, so he posed for the camera a lot.
Yeah.
Were you Marty in senior year? Were you you were like voted what, like, was it best looking, most athletic? Like, what was it?
Best physique.
I think you and Tristan had like bastards, but I mean, yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that was all wrong. I didn't want that. They told me that I was voted best physique, and I was like, no, I don't want to do it. But then someone approached me and said, if you don't do it, then the next person up is Robert Kaufman. And what did they tell me? They were like, I don't want to sound mean, but at the time they were like, Robert's too arrogant or something like that. So we don't want him to be it. Oh, Jacqueline's on the move. I know what she's doing. She's going to find the pictures.
No, you're lucky. You're lucky. Normally I would, but I actually have to get my daughter from softball practice. So you're going into the car with me.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you were like, I'll do it, but let's talk about lighting, background.
Oh, I was.
Who's on wardrobe?
When we got in there, they were like, okay, you have to take off your shirt, and I was like, I'm not going to take off my shirt. So if you look at the picture, I'm in a wife beater. That's as far as I went down for the best physique.
Would have never made it in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah. It was terrible. All right, Chris, what about you, man?
I was thinking of, and I mean, this in itself is embarrassing. I went at cheer camp. I tell most people I went to cheer camp, and I don't. But I went there, and actually it was really cool because I was the only guy there. So like the girls would make cheers just for me, like ones we didn't even know. So I thought that was the best thing ever. But it was awkward because, you know, I was not very experienced with girls at that point, and we were in a college, and they had a co-ed shower, and I didn't know it. So I go into the shower, and I'm taking my shower, and then these girls show up in there, and I'm just like, I'm freaking out, like there's girls in here, and apparently, you know, they just come in and do that kind of thing. So my little brain is just spinning. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
It's like, man, is your guys' water cold too? What's going on in these showers?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe now, but then I was just scared. I was like, oh man, how am I going to get out of here without them seeing me? There's a lot of stuff there.
I remember that you caught some flack for being in cheer, and I think your go-to response was like I'm doing it for the scholarship.
No, I think actually I remember saying something more along the lines of that I get to hang out with all the girlfriends of the football players.
Yeah, because all the guys, because I think we hung out with some of the same guys like for the beginning of high school, but you got a lot of flack for that, and you're like, no man, there's so many chicks. There's chicks everywhere,
yeah.
man.
There you go. Yeah. Didn't get me anywhere.
I think I remember you, like we were talking about it. I don't think I ever gave you a hard time about it, but I think I remember you talking just like, it's like 25 chicks and me, man. Like nothing wrong with that. And I was like, it's pretty good logic. I'm not.
And now that I'm an adult and I look back on stuff like that, I was like those guys could just pick up girls and just put them over their heads, and I was like, man, they were strong, but like all those male cheerleaders could have just destroyed like most of the guys in the school, like with that strength.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
For Tracey, I feel like Tracey has no embarrassing moments. Like she was always on point.
I don't think she does either.
No, unfortunately, I don't have any.
Unfortunately, right.
Yeah, I can't say anything, but internally I'm saying fortunately, but unfortunately because I'm talking with you all, I don't have any embarrassing moments. No.
How does it feel to be God's favorite, Tracey?
we're all his favorite, but it feels good to not have an embarrassing moment. Or you know, Jackie can't go find any pictures of me, I don't think.
I have pictures of you, actually.
No, but you can't. No, you can't.
And you know I have pictures of you, homegirl.
You can't show pictures. I'm just saying,
how about we all just create? We should create some embarrassing moments for Tracey. Let's do that.
I think we should have an embarrassing moments yearbook.
Because you remember how my dad was with the pictures, right? He would just staple them on the wall because frames aren't a thing. And she was in a lot of those. Yeah, just there's a wall of stapled pictures, like psychopath type stuff. But yeah, she's on there.
Next question. Actually, somebody just mentioned yearbook, and that made me think. I mentioned yearbook. Yeah, so I was thinking about like when we do these little podcasts, whoever's going to be featured, that I show their yearbook senior photo, and we can compare.
I'm so glad that I'm in this segment. Right. I'm glad we're doing this now.
Great idea. I'm glad I mentioned it, but I'm glad it's going to start after this meeting.
Right.
We guys got to keep
I'm
coming
in the
back.
car right now, and I'm not running upstairs to go grab my yearbook to do this.
I want no parts of that, Jackie.
I have a feeling that this episode is going to be a highly viewed episode because of our attendees today. So I hope you guys will try to join us more often to do these again, because it's fun. Like, this is great to catch up with you guys.
And so the next one's on Friday. You each have to nominate somebody that has to be featured in the future broadcast.
I nominate you.
I'm on every week.
Let's just stay with that. It's you.
So
Chris.
Jackie,
Go ahead, Tracy.
so did the host of this meeting, did you all go already?
As far as like embarrassing stories?
Yes. Or are you just intertwining yours in when you're talking to whoever your guests are for that week?
Both. Like Matt shared his specifically, but Marty and I, we just bring up scenarios from the past on a repeated basis.
I think my embarrassing story, the one that pops in my head, was senior year. Matt and I did the play, the Midsummer Night's Dream play, and we performed it on 3 nights. And like, I was like trying to take the performance to the next level, you know, like really like get into the and I had to go out, like we built the stage like into the crowd, into the seats, and I had like this monologue that took me out there, and then like I fall asleep. And I was saying my lines or whatever, and I was like, I want to make this really dramatic. And then when I fell asleep, I just collapsed and banged my head super hard against the whatever the surface was that we had built there. And I remember everybody in the crowd was like, "Ooh," when I did that, and I was like, "Oh fuck, why did I do that?" And like I could hear people around me whispering, like, "Is he okay? That was super hard." That was like my moment where I was like, "Yeah, I took that too far." And then so the next night I toned it down, but I can't think of anything else other than that. I can think of a bunch of failed attempts to like, like flirt with chicks that failed. A bunch with Jacqueline, with Dominique.
Everybody was on Dominique. I remember that.
Shokia Booker.
Yeah, and Shokia.
We got to get her on here. Let's see here. Magali. Oh yeah, I got him in one. Oh my god,
I got one too.
Wait, Chris, is it Marty or you?
No,
I said I have one from Magali.
A lot of guys have one with her, I think. I was like freshman year, I was in love with her. I was in love. And we had Mr. Osa's English class, and we went to the auditorium, and I was like, this is the kind of chick you write poems to, in my mind,
Oh my God.
Like, she's not going to take me serious unless I come with that kind of like, and I remember, man, this is terrible. We were sitting next to each other in like the small group of people. I don't even remember who was sitting next to us. And everybody was around us and we were all talking. And I turned to Magali and I was like, "Why are you so beautiful, Magali?" And I thought that was like the smoothest thing, but it just, like, everybody around us was like, "Whoa, what happened here?" And like, 5 people got up and like, like in small groups, like, got up and walked away. She was super uncomfortable with it. And yeah, that never ended up going anywhere. And I just remember being devastated by that. Like, wow, that didn't work. I gotta get better at this.
I just remember people like kissing and having boyfriends and girlfriends in high school, and like just walking around thinking like, one day that will be me. I was like, I'm gonna find out what all this stuff is about one day. It's gonna be awesome.
I was right there with you. I did not have my first kiss until the summer going into 11th grade. And that was my first boyfriend too.
Yeah, like
I got you guys beat. I didn't have my first kiss until I was 21 years old.
What?
I didn't, like, I'm gonna be real personal. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20. I really didn't want anybody touching me. Like, guys and all that just was not my thing. I was into sports and extracurriculars, and that was it. I just shut that part of me off. But yeah, 21 was the first kiss. 20 is when I lost my virginity. No, we didn't kiss. That's why there wasn't one in 20. But yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah, it was just, kind of a get it done kind of thing. And then the kiss came a year later. But yeah.
wow. What a trip.
Mm.
What about you,
Marty?
Left you guys speechless.
Well, Marty, like when I'd be sitting around there and I'd just be living vicariously through people like Marty, he'd be like talking about his girlfriend. I'd be like, oh man, it's so cool. Like,
Urban out.
I wonder what it's like to have girls like you. Oh man, Marty, you're the coolest guy I know.
Oh my God.
Like, what was she wearing again? What was going on?
Well, I remember when Matt got his, had that girl, you ended up being with her for a long time. And like our conversations about like, well, when you're making out, you got to make this move and, you got to say this or something like that. Like I was all trying to coach Matt with a bunch of,
I got in trouble for, by the way.
Yeah, with a bunch of trash advice that
yeah,
I hope you didn't take.
No, I did. It didn't work out.
Chris, you said you had an embarrassing story.
Oh, well, so I guess it was senior year because I was only there for freshman or sophomore and senior year. But anyway, we were gonna go do our taxes together. I don't know how, but I went to her house to go do taxes, and I was impressed by her as a person. So I was like, "Huh, you're the kind of girl that I could marry." And she never spoke to me again after that. I wasn't proposing to her, but I was just saying she was a good person.
Man, she got a couple of us, man.
Jesus.
That's how smooth I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something. Have you guys, not that I'm doing this all the time, but like, have you ever been driving by like a school when it gets out or like a high school when it gets out? And like, I'll see what like the kids and they look super young. And I was like, I don't remember like when I was in high school, like we all seemed so much like more grown up and like older to me. But now like driving by, I'm like, wow, did we look like because I don't remember like feeling that young or like looking around like you're saying, like you look at people now and you're like, oh, you look just like you did in high school. Like I don't know, it was weird because I just remember like thinking, oh, we look so much more grown up than if you look at kids now that are in high school.
I have an opposite type of experience because I think because my daughter's in high school, so to me she looks so grown, and I'm like, when did you grow up? But I feel like when I was young and I looked at my mom being 37, I felt like she was so old. And now that I'm 37, I don't feel like how I looked at my mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I don't have kids. I taught high school for like 11 years. And so for me, I had the opposite in that I was like, dang, these kids are grown. Like we weren't like that in high school. I felt like they're like the way they dress, how they talk, everything. I'm like, we weren't like that in high school. Like, where are they feeding these kids? That was my experience.
I got kind of the opposite. My niece and my nephew is about to become a senior in high school. And I'm like, you can't go out into the world, man. Like, you're not ready for that. You're far too young. You're like, but I think that's maybe just because like, I still see the little baby boy that he was, like I have a hard time seeing him going to college. I'm like, dude, this is, no, not possible. So strange. Chris, is your daughter going to go to college soon? She must be, right?
That's a sore subject, but she's working at Burger King.
Hey, she's working.
Yeah, she's taking care of herself. She's living with some friends and working. So I mean, she's keeping herself together like I did when I was that age.
Yeah. Does she live out there with you, or is she out here in California?
She's here. She graduated actually when she was 16 because she did online school.
Nice.
And so she's just been working for the last couple of years, doing her own thing, getting away from her religious parents,
I hear you. Okay, then we got like 2 minutes before our hour for this episode. Tracey, anyone that you would like to have us reach out to participate in this next time?
I don't know if it's easier if you can. I guess I can name people, or you can tell me whether or not. And is it only from our year?
Yeah. Well, I don't really care, so it's not a big deal to me.
Because a lot of people they're probably a couple years older, like Clister, Aaron, Acosta, Crystal, Adams.
I could get Aaron. So Aaron is actually, yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but Aaron is actually one of my best friends to this day. He is actually the godfather of my daughter. Like, we are very, very close. So I talk to him on a weekly basis.
I just talked to him like a week ago because he hit me up for this math problem. So we were on Zoom.
Yeah, he told me.
Ago. So yes, this I choose Aaron because I know you can get in contact with him, Jackie.
Yeah, I just don't know. Sometimes he likes to act a little. I'm not class of 2001, so we'll see.
Well, tell him. Because we got on Zoom for that math problem. I was the one who requested I was the one who made it a mandate that he comes on to the next one.
All right. I think we
Hopefully
can
that works.
On.
Yeah. If not, tell him I'm gonna dunk on him.
I believe that'll be powerful with Aaron. Like that'll carry weight with him.
He's very competitive.
Either that or we play 1-on-1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want Clister too. Clister's got to come on.
Yeah, so Aaron or Clister, those are the two I have.
You know who I want to see, and they're not a student, it's a teacher. You guys remember Mr. Tesaro?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love for him to just be on one of these. That was like the coolest teacher I think I've ever had.
He was. And coach. So wait, have you had teachers on here? That's a good point, Black. Have you had teachers on here?
Not yet, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He should be the first if you can get a hold of him. That dude was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
Coach Andrews.
I remember when he made us fill out the brackets for college basketball. That was the assignment.
I remember that.
You had to fill out your bracket, and if it was right, you passed the class.
I definitely, if he comes on, I want to come back as well, but for sure when he's on, I have to come back.
Okay.
Yeah, when he's on, I have to be a part of that because I used to give him the hardest time ever. Oh, that dude, yeah, he has to.
He coached basketball, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. He was a coach and a teacher, so yeah, so he's so funny.
Yeah, he was. He was actually one of my favorite teachers.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Had a great time in his class. And then I think I had him, what was it, junior or senior year? I had him, and then he became like a teacher's coach or something like that. And so halfway through the year, he wasn't teaching anymore. And I was super bummed when he left. I was like, man, I was really learning a lot from you and enjoying this class. To give you an idea of the impact a teacher can have on a student.
Absolutely.
Right. He brought a lot of kids out of their shells. And just through his sarcasm alone, like he could really bring it out of you. That's where I got my smart mouth from. Definitely Mr. Tesaro.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, we'll try to track him down. Does anybody have him on Facebook as like a connection or a friend? No?
No, I had his cell phone number. We kept in contact even after school, but I'm going to reach out to Coach Andrews to see if she has his contact.
Yeah, it'd be great to have on too.
And that's what I was saying. I would actually pick her to come on as well. I know she'll be down to do that.
I always wonder about Mr. Edmonds.
Oh yes.
Oh man.
I tried to search for him after high school, just because he had a huge impact on my life as well. So just to kind of thank him, and then Coach Andrews as well. But I couldn't find him. I couldn't get in contact with him.
Well, I have Miss Andrews. She might be a link to like a bunch of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can reach out to her. Her and I talk religiously. We talk like all the time. And before this virus, we would meet up and eat at least once or twice a month. We would meet
Wow.
up and catch up. So we are very close still, her and I. But yeah, that would be great. So I can reach out to her to see if she can get in touch with Tesaro and Mr. Edmonds to see if they can come on as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Just make sure if you ask Miss Andrews, you also invite her. You'd be like, hey,
No, I already said that, Matt. I said I was going to invite her.
Okay.
Yeah, I said that first.
Okay, I was trying
You're
to.
not paying attention, Matt. I said I was going to invite her. No, I said I would invite her once Black said, or let me say Yolanda, because I don't know if they know.
Yeah, because they don't know why you call me Black.
Okay, so
it's a long story. It doesn't have anything to do with my skin color.
Oh, okay.
Right.
She just calls me Black because I saw the light bulb, Matt.
My first
Yeah,
guest
we
is
go
gone
way
then.
back. So Yolanda, when she mentioned Tesaro, I was like, oh, we can get Coach Andrews on, and then I can reach out to her for other contacts. So it was a double thing.
I just heard Marty talking about asking her about. Like, do you happen to know any other teachers that might be willing to come on?
Right.
We don't want you, but do you know anybody else?
Because they all made such an impact on our lives. You know, they were all really special to us.
Absolutely.
I'm friends with Miss Lewis on Facebook, but not a lot of people liked her. I like Miss Lewis, but
I do not remember who that is.
Yeah,
she was an English teacher, and then she was also the school newspaper.
Miss Lewis.
Yeah, no,
I think she failed me.
I think I remember.
Let's have her and Chris on
We
at
have
the
to
same
bring
time.
her. That means we have to bring her on.
Yeah, we would.
Hey, I had fun in summer school.
And then we gotta surround her with everybody she failed. Like have all those students on.
There's a lot of people.
That'd be
my God.
What about you, Chris? Anybody that you would want us to go after?
Oh, the only person I thought of that I was really good friends with in senior year was Sally Duran. And her son is 4 years older than my daughter, at least.
Oh, Sally. I remember Sally. Yeah. She's great.
Yeah, her son was always at school with her, and he was always singing stuff like country grammar.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember Sally. She was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a good lady.
Yeah, she was a good person. Such a great person. Yeah.
Do you guys ever put songs on like that still when you're driving around and embarrass yourself when you're alone just by playing it?
That's all I listen to.
Every day.
Yeah,
every day.
I'm like, oh, I remember that song. That song was awesome. And then I'll put it on while I'm like driving somewhere. And I'm like, oh. I was like,
So like yesterday,
doesn't hit as hard.
I got super emotional about DMX. Like, I feel like he was such a big part of the soundtrack of our high school years. And like,
Absolutely.
I was so emotional yesterday about it. My husband was like, why are you tripping? But I just, like, it really affected me. And I played DMX the whole day to my kids. I had to go pick them up from school.
Same.
I was bumping it I'm like, I know these parents are looking at me with these cuss words, but I do not care.
You gotta have a DMX movie marathon. That's what we started yesterday. We're gonna finish it today.
Nice.
I just remember Tristan was real into him, and he would always go around like growling and barking because he loved DMX so much.
Actually, Anson Wright is who introduced me to DMX. My freshman
Really,
year.
I remember Anson. Yeah,
he loved DMX.
DMX was dope.
Yeah,
I can remember walking to school, listening to his songs, and like, you're right, he was a big part of the soundtrack of high school. It was like, you can't say class of 2001 without thinking about some of his stuff.
Yeah, and I can't think of a song of his I didn't like.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's great music to listen to, like pre-workout, during your workout, before an event, a basketball game, tournament. Like, his soundtracks are the best for motivation.
right.
And then even him as a person, he was very motivational. Even though he had all of those struggles, he was still so positive. So he's going to definitely be missed.
100%.
This is going to sound funny, but I remember like thinking the volleyball team was kind of dorky just because I was an idiot. I didn't know any better. But
You're a football player.
yeah, it was probably that. But I remember like being at the volleyball games and they would play, DMX songs like as they were coming out and stuff like that. And I remember being like, well, this kind of makes them legit, like, all right. He made like volleyball to me, like, how dumb is that, right? He made the like rapping volleyball games like kind of legit for me, or like jockish for me in my stupid high school mental definition of that. Weird. Okay, so some teachers, Sally, Clister, Aaron, Yolanda, anyone else you can think of?
I do not remember anybody's name. I'm going to be so honest. I drawn a blank. I don't even remember who I hung out with outside of Tracey, to be very honest with you. I mean, I know I was in choir. I know I was on the basketball team, the dance team. I don't remember anybody's name.
Who is our valedictorian? Do you remember? Was it
Sun? It was Sun, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Sounds right.
I think it was. So, yeah, Sunwin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I remember like him, Daniel Hoffman, and I think Samantha Dang were pretty high up there in the class. It'd be cool to have those. What is it? The valedictorian? Was it salutatorian? Was that the salutatorian?
What about Fee? Fee Hoff?
Yeah, we should get him.
You talk about Nelly all the time, but she hasn't been on here.
Nelly's great, man. God, I love Nelly. She's so amazing. And I'm telling you guys.
Would she not want to be on the podcast?
No, I just think her issue is that, she's a massage therapist and she's a busy massage therapist. So she's booked all the time. Just doing that.
We can always do a late night.
Yeah.
We could do a Madhouse After Hours podcast. Turn the lights down low. Just get real intimate. Just deep thoughts.
Happy hour. Happy hour.
That's a good
Virtual
one.
happy hour.
That's a good one where we all show up with drinks, right? And just,
I'm down for that.
Yeah, put a
absolutely.
virtual bonfire on there.
yeah, there you go.
I don't drink, but I'll bring water.
I'll do coffee.
I'll have the Hennessy or the Jack Daniels or both.
I like it. Okay, then we got a good list of people to go after. Probably try to switch it back to Friday, but if anybody who has scheduling issues with Friday wants to get back on, just let us know, and we'll.
I appreciate you guys moving the schedule around and make sure that I can participate. So I really thank you. I appreciate that.
It's so good to see you, Yolanda.
Yeah.
I've been like holding back on saying this to you guys, but you look so great, and it's so great to see how successful and how well all you guys are doing. There's something
thank
weird.
you.
I'm having a weird thing every time we do this every week. Like I have this like warm place in my chest that happens every time I talk to you guys. So I get really excited about it.
Marty's like Marty.
Right, I'm sorry, but yeah,
Marty's like the Grinch.
Yeah,
you're like the Grinch. Every podcast episode, your heart grows a couple more sizes.
That started off weird, but it finished in a good spot. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't know where he was going with that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're the man, Matt. Okay, then, guys, I'll wrap this up. I'll get this processed and posted today, and we'll start going after the next couple of people for the next one that we do.
All
Okay,
right.
great.
It was good seeing you guys.
See you
Thanks
guys.
for being on, guys.
Hey, there she
Bye,
is.
Hey.
Hi, Tracey.
I was on pass out doing the Torrey Pines hike. I never did it before. And so it elevates, and I like to stay on the ground. So I was just like, okay, we gotta turn around. But I made it. I didn't give up.
Tracey, you look great. This is good because I get to say now when I post this watch the whole video so you can see Tracey live at the end of it.
Right. Our special guest.
Yeah.
I finally stopped. I'm about to get me a Java Juice, but yes, it was good seeing everyone, and I will plan to be on the next one.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks,
great.
Tracy. Thanks, Yolanda.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris. Take
All right.
care.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.